POS show yo. POS show yo. Yo, it's POS with Pat and Bobby. News so wild it's never sloppy. Talk the truth, don't make it snobby. Who's the POS? We getting choppy. POS show yo.
It's the POS
Yeah,
show,
we're getting choppy. We're getting choppy? Oh, boy.
Yeah. Choppy and screwed. Scissor up on a
That's
Friday.
how an Asian guy, when he's teaching his son how to make the food in the back of that shit restaurant, oh, we're getting choppy. Look at this. We got the vegetable.
Bang, 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 bang. Here, you catch shrimp. You catch shrimp in mouth, and then he throws it. And you
today I teach you this. Tomorrow I teach you how to pour alcohol down whole throat.
Okay, so we save money. We call the dog cow.
I don't think that's on menu.
No, they put it as you ever had beef General Tso's?
I've had beef. It's meat, guy. They're in America. That stereotype I never got. They might be Chinese, but there are still inspectors who show up.
Pat.
No, they don't feed a dog.
Every square inch of New York City, except for in China and Koreatown.
That's not true.
Yeah.
How do you know? What are you hanging with the rats? Are you Lord of the Rats?
I'm Lord of the Flies.
You are not.
Just because I had something in my backpack and surprised my class. Bang, 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 bang.
That's not the Lord of the Flies. That's last Fly Standing. It's a whole different show.
Oh, I thought that was the book they made us read where they went to an island that would have been solved real quickly if the quiet kid had a gun in his backpack. Look at me. I'm the Lord of the Flies now.
Speaking of being happy someone doesn't have a gun in their backpack, I went to an open mic to work on a joke. Bobby, you've heard me tell the joke about the Special Olympics Hall of Fame. And I was changing a punchline to it at an open mic, and afterwards, this old man, and I say old man, he's probably only like 6 years older than me, but God, he looks old as fuck, walks over to me, and I'm sitting with my buddy Dion. We're just sitting there eating Chinese food, and I just performed, and puts his hand out, shake my hand. And he goes, heard you up there. Just so you're aware, myself and my wife have been running the Special Olympics in Colchester for 25 years. Not really pleased with the words you use. You said retard several times. You might as well just say the N-word. And I said, but I didn't say the N-word. He goes, I didn't say you did. I go, I didn't say the N-word. I said retard. And he goes, no one finds that funny. And I go, most people do. To be honest with you, people find it funny so much. Like, it's crazy how funny they find it. And I just keep eating. And he goes, no, another thing. I go, you know what? We're done. And he goes, we're done. Thanks for your opinion. Gonna keep telling the joke. You keep watching those retarded kids. We'll see you later. I turn around. So pissed.
Jesus, dude.
Fucking come up to me, you piece of shit.
Yeah, and who's
are your retards broken? Oh, are you mad? You know what's the worst thing to say than the word retard? I support retarded people for 25 years. Yeah, which means at one point you didn't.
Who's taking advantage of the retarded people in this situation?
Yeah.
You're using the word retarded, or those people running the Special Olympics profiting off of all the special needs people? You tell me, Pat.
And then this Mike's got a really cool kid. This kid Nick who runs it, and kind of a fan a little bit of me, whatever. You know, I mean, in a nice way. But and he came up to me afterwards while the comics were almost done. He goes, "Hey, if you're hanging around, we didn't have a lot of comics on the list. I know you guys have to work on, so if you want to go back up, you can." It doesn't hurt. They have a decent audience in the mic. It doesn't hurt this place because they laugh. And I said, I appreciate that, but as long as that man's still at the bar, I'm not going to go up again. He goes, oh, fuck him. I go, no. And I agree, fuck him. But I'm not going to hurt your relationship with this bar if that guy's spending money. And now he's just so mad he wants to grab the mic for an open mic. It's not worth it. He's like, okay, fine, whatever. But it was just very funny that this guy, and how many people have been doing this lately? I do like that. Okay, so I guess I have to start with saying, how people always go, young kids don't get it because they're behind a keyboard. And, they would never say that eye to eye. But then, young people never had eye to eye. But who will say stuff not on a keyboard and in people my age and older because they're learning that old way. But they write instead of writing all this bunch of shit. They just go, "Where do you live?"
Yeah,
They're ready to go get you.
We're going straight to the docks.
Yeah, and then, part of me is I would love to whoop this whole guy's ass, but that would not help if I just beat up a guy who runs the Special Olympics in
Now he's running in the Special Olympics because you beat his ass so bad. His head hit a bar stool like that movie about the girl who cried too much.
I said to Dia, and I was like, it'd be so crazy if I kick this guy's ass, right? He goes, yeah, "What's even better though? I now have a punchline for another joke because there's a joke I was doing where at the end I'm kind of when I talk about how people are, people ask if this is real or not. I go, the other thing they do is they like to talk to me about this, and now I know it's been done, but I have a new version of comparing the N words for retarded.
Is it new?
Yeah, it's new for me.
No. I mean, it's. I feel like it's not been done. This is the next evolution in that bit. You're taking it to the next level. That's what I meant by that. Yeah, you're taking it a step further.
Yes, Terry. It's 3:30 in
30 somewhere.
Auckland, New Zealand. Is that a land?
Auckland.
Auckland. There it is.
There you go.
Yeah. So. So I've just been hitting mics and running around. Sorry about the late start today, everybody, but I just had a bunch of shit I wanted to take care of and do some stuff. And so we're here this evening to do it. And then next week we'll try to get back on schedule as much as possible. But, Bobby, you're coming to Connecticut. I won't be able to see you, but you're going to do a show with the three named legend, Earl David Reed, right?
Earl David Reed tomorrow night at the Bijou Theater. Kish, kish, kish. I'm counting on you. Kish, kish, kish. You're my only hope.
Well, I'm telling everybody out there what that theater's been telling everybody for a long time. Which religion should I choose? I'm like, Bijou.
Bijou.
Bijou, don't be free.
I have to show my nose.
No, they want you to Bijou.
That's my point. They won't let me in with the beard. I'll have to show them my nose and be like, no, I
guess you guys have different Jews than we do here.
I don't have the cool curly cues.
Yeah, but you got mad beards. That's all it is. That's every landlord in New Haven.
It really is the New Haven, and I know what the Haven's for.
Yeah. The New Haven is that. All the landlords of this family called the Hacks. That's literally the last name. Harold Hack was mine for a long time. They moved all the Hasidic Jews moved down here, and they live in not in that area, but they own about 50, 60 places. They all become 2 or 3 family sort of things, and they all walk around like a mob, just collecting money from the biggest gangsters in New Haven. Fucking hard criminals are afraid when the Hacks roll through to get their money.
Isn't it crazy how they go by Hasidic, but Hitler put a few in some HCL and tried to make the pun Hasidic Jews, and nobody thought it was funny? Well,
to be fair, I don't think no one thought it, because there was definitely some guys who are on Team Hitler who were even they didn't laugh it. They had to. You know what I mean? Let's go.
I get one, yeah.
You can't do that. That's made up. That's Pulp Fiction. He's like, wait, what's that even mean? He goes, you wait, 50 years, this is going to hit. This joke's going to hit.
It's going to be a 10 out of 10.
Not like your mom. She's gross. Hitler just kills him. How were your buds? I'm going to do your mom's sucks joke.
That's pulp nonfiction now.
Kevin, it's not much closer yet, but it's getting there. Thank you. Our wash hours are doing all right, but we're not there yet, obviously. But I was there by the fall. Oh, no, they're going up, but it has to be 3,000 average through 365 days. So even though we're going up, we're still battling that lower average at the beginning. So it's going to take a little bit long. It's not just boom, all of a sudden. It's the hours and the time. You know what I mean?
No, but I was just looking at the analytics today, and it is cool to see over the past 30 days. It has jumped to 38. Watching it steadily increase is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think we're at 23 and change or something now. So we're getting there. But So that was my fun day, being yelled at by a man for saying retard, which, by the way, I use it. I wanted to be it's been on all my albums. I can't not do it now. It's my most covered topic.
It's your word. Take it back.
I wouldn't say it's my word, but I would say if retard was paint, I'd be Picasso. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I was gonna
yeah,
say like Van Gogh used paint, but we don't go. He's the only painter. He's just one of the good
that's
ones.
how that's how special needs people talk about when a bus goes by. Van Gogh. No, that's not a van. You
How'd you
dummy.
get stuck on the island after your cruise? Van went.
Um. All right, let's kick this off. You want to do some stuff?
Kick it.
Yeah. Do I want the asshole or do I want this one? Let's go with an asshole right away. Screaming, man, booted from plane after fellow passengers refused to seat swap. Ben Cost bringing the stories, baby. Um, he got the ejector seat. He got the ejector seat. Good one, Ben. That's I like that one.
He's not normally the guy known for that either.
He's starting to do it, but because he's a good writer, he's getting. I want Ben Cost on the show. I'm gonna try to do that. I don't know he won't, but I like Ben. We read his stories. He's the only one I like.
Yeah, I like him and that dude who was kind of gay for a while back, but we haven't heard from him in a while.
Right. We also had that lady. I forget who that was, but there's a lady on there. Those three.
That lady was a bitch.
No, nah, don't do that. A TikToker says a fellow passenger was ejected from their plane after becoming enraged when he wasn't granted a seat swap. Why can no one just be normal on planes? Asked Nick, who goes by Nick from Ohio on TikTok. Why do I even know that? Am I gonna want to follow Nick from Ohio now for his flying? What? Ben Goss, why didn't you just tell me? Who gives a fuck? You think I was like, Nick, can I quote you on this? Only if you promote my TikTok, son. He's like, all right.
Whoa.
I guess so. Oh, by the way, from in a clip, he says it on a clip that got 5.1 million views. Okay, Ben from Ohio, I see what you're doing. Did you show your tits? According to the viral video, the flyer had planned accordingly for the 5 a.m. flight by booking himself a seat at the back of the plane. He had just sat down and was fast asleep when all of a sudden he got tapped on the shoulder by a man in his early 40s who asked Nick if he minded switching seats with him, per the clip. Startled, TikToker asked why he wanted to switch, whereupon the man claimed that his two children were seated behind Nick while he was seated toward the front of the plane. Interestingly, there was no kids with him at the time. The man argued there was a no-brainer as Nick would get off earlier with the arrangement, adding that the switch was no big deal. However, the content creator refused as he was exhausted and didn't want to get up. I was like, I'm just a little bit tired. I don't feel like going through the hassle of moving the stuff around, but thanks. Undeterred, the traveler offered to move the Nick stuff for him. Dude, that would start pissing me off. Don't worry, dude. I'll carry your shit. Prompting him to reiterate that he didn't want the trade. At one point, the frustrated man said, "You're serious? You're not going to let a father sit with his kids?" And all the while, Nick was growing increasingly suspicious that the man's kids were grown-ups. Otherwise, they would have been with him at the time. Which is kind of a good point. His instincts proved to be correct. When the man finally brought over his sons, Nick thought they were about the same age as he was. It's like, he goes, these kids aren't little. You don't need to sit next to them. Which I do kind of like that guy's like, fuck you. You can't love your kids. I don't care if they're adults. You can't have them. Well, they're both wrong, but that's a stupid thing. If your kids are little, fuck them, right? How was your dad, Nick?
Yeah, that's a little messed up.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Things began to get testy after both the father and his son started laying into the TikToker, refusing to move. Upon hearing the commotion, a flight attendant came over and asked what was amiss. Dude, that's the second time he's used the miss. Ben Costa's got AMISS for some reason on the brain. He loves saying amiss. Whereupon the dad falsely claimed that Nick was sitting in his seat. When Nick showed the crew member his ticket to prove he was in the correct seat, the man accused him of stealing his ticket. Oh, a spurious allegation given that the pass was on Nick's phone. He stole it! What's he do? He airdropped that. He airdropped raped me. That's what happened there. What's wrong with my volume? I'm hearing something weird here.
Go to settings and say Just make sure you have like the automatically adjust mic volume clicked.
Oh no, I know what it is. Never mind. Some of that shit. For some reason, my wrong mic is on. So
That's yes. It clicked in out of the blue, which was weird.
Sometimes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it kicks
Much
off sometimes.
better.
Yeah, it kicks off sometimes. Yeah, just next time say something to me right away whenever you hear that. Because it'll kick off if I touch the headphone and it'll go to the Bluetooth on the headphones instead. So
Well,
So
we don't
when I
want
ru- when I have
that.
my
We
nervous
want this
tick.
beautiful mic.
right, when I'm in nervous tick there and I touch my stupid ear.
So you
You-
left us with him showing the phone.
I'm right here. Yeah, I'm right here. He goes, Nick subsequently explained the situation to the flight attendant, at which point the father went absolutely bananas. He started screaming at me, calling me all the names in the book. You know, and someone's trying to calm him down, telling him not to punch anyone. When the flight attendant attempted to escort the irate flyer to his seat, the man reportedly broke free and started storming over to Nick, prompting the son and flight attendants to try and hold back the now red and fuming flyer. Which, by the way, I like hearing that because they don't show pictures of them. This didn't sound like a white guy.
No,
But
it
now
did
that he's
not.
red and fuming. The flyer was then taken out the flight by security when Nick was moved to the first class seat. He doesn't even get to fly on a plane with them, gushed a video poster who used the saga as an example of why they never switch seats with someone as they probably have bad intentions. Wait, hold on. The flyer was taken off the flight by security while Nick was moved to first class. I thought Nick didn't want to move.
I guess when it's first class, that's a different story.
Everyone on TikTok is like kind of agreeing with the Nick guy. I will never understand how entitled some people are. I hate when people say it's not a big deal while making a big deal. So get to the thing. Either way, it's all people talking. Who is the piece of shit in this story? Is it the guy Nick for not moving? The guy wanted to sit with his sons. Yeah, I mean, he probably could have asked a little nicer, or maybe possibly paid him. You know, if it was that important.
Yeah,
I
buy him
think
a
the
drink.
fuck. Well, I don't drink, so that wouldn't work. I would think you'd have to give me $50. And you
That
can complain
doesn't
about you give me
seem
$50, I'll
unreasonable.
trade with you. If not, I'm comfortable. $50 will help me get some drugs to be comfortable when I get off the plane now that I gotta sit up front. So fuck you. Is it the guy fucking getting fired up and yelling and going over the top? The guy said no, it's no. It doesn't matter why. He doesn't have to explain to him. It's all dumb shit. Like, is it the sons for fucking barking at first, but then backing off? If you're gonna fucking have your dad's back, go all the way, be a nuts family, or don't do it at all. Either at the moment, go, Dad, don't fucking do this. It's not a big deal. If you want to sit with one, he said there were two sons. If I was one of the sons, I'd be like, Dad, why don't you sit with my brother Jake in the back for now? I'll sit up front, and then the flight back, we'll switch it. And and then we can be spare time with you, whatever. But who gives a shit? Then for a minute, the airline for like not but rewarding Nick. It's not like he was being like a great man. He was kind of antagonizing. He could right away. He just had to be like, "No, thank you." And the guy was like, "He goes, if you have a problem with it, please go speak to the flight attendant." And then just pull his rights. Let it go. I would just get away from. There's no point in engaging. He's doing it because he's a TikTok guy to get a video. Maybe there's other stuff there behind it too. How he nudged the guy on a little bit. Who knows? You know what I mean? Who's the piece of shit?
Oh man, so many options. For starters, it's not the kids for backing down. Because if this was my dad and I was a kid, this would be my best vacation ever. If dad got kicked off the plane and I got like 12 hours without him, that'd be the ideal situation, right?
Yeah,
like, so I think
you're an adult child.
they were chirping to get him fired up. And then the minute of flight, they're like, get him out of here. But we do know for certain he was their dad.
I mean, there was no DNA test on the fucking thing.
But like they didn't remove him because he was trying to do something bad with the kids. That's all I want to make sure.
Bad with they're adults. If they want to fuck their dad, they can.
Okay. The reason, because so how old were these kids? I thought they were like.
The guy Nick is doing the video and he looked like he'd be in his 20s or something like that.
So they were his age, he said? I must have missed that part. Okay.
Yeah, he said that's why I saw them. They're my age. No, because he called them out. He said, where are your kids? He goes, these kids aren't little kids. They're my age.
That makes more sense. I thought Nick was like 16. They were like, because it is weird if somebody now aggressively wants to sit by your young kids and doesn't want you to. That is weird. But if they're adults, it's them. You're adults. It's 2 hours without your dad. Do exactly what you said. It's mainly the kids. Your dad lived in a different time, like you were just saying at the beginning of the episode, where you could knuck if you buck, right? Like he's going to get aggressive in person because that's how they solve things back in his day. Step in, be like, hey, sit with Jake here. I'll sit with Clyde on the way home. Like, you know what I mean? Figure it out that way. You settle, you resolve this situation. It's not the TikToker. I get that he was kind of probably being melodramatic because he just didn't want to move and was tired. We've all been there. You can see on somebody's face when you're about to ask them a favor what kind of mood they're in, right? If I go, excuse me, sir, and I look in your eyes and you don't look happy, I'm going to hit you right away with the $50 offer or something like that. Exactly like you said. And that's going to change the mood. Even if you still say no, it's going to be a much less aggressive no than it would have been if I just asked you to do it out of the kindness of your heart. That doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately.
Right. And that's the reason, what you just said at the very end. There's no more kindness. On the why there's no kindness? It's because of who I am electing as my POS. 9/11. 9/11 is the piece of shit in this story. Yeah, I know people died, but man, the aftermath's been way worse. It's been crazy, all things you can't do anymore, you know? One thing is that you can't trust anybody on an airplane. Let's just take it for his word for 1 second. The guy is on there, he's irate, wants to be with his family. It doesn't matter their ages. I was hanging out with my son today. My son's 19 years old. He's a big, tall, strong kid. He can handle himself, but I'll always look at him as my little kid. Same thing with my daughter. That's just the way parents do things. Even they're adults, they still look at them like the one they raised. So you want to sit next to him on the plane, you feel a little weird. Yeah, the kids can probably handle it. I mean, let's just say he was trying to be that way. And he goes over and asks this man, can we switch seats? 9:10, if that's happening.
Yeah.
The guy gets up and goes, you know what? No problem, man. Of course. Go right ahead. And the guy might later on go, hey, can you send that guy a drink or something later on? He goes, a good sport there. We're all good here. But now, post 9/11, you're just sitting in your chair and you're like hanging like this and you're looking around and you see three men and one of them looks over at the chair. It's like, oh, I wonder if that chair's available. The two other men are in the back. You're thinking terrorists. They're up here. They have to go in the back. I've seen Bruce Willis movies. They're going to all be ready in the back because, you know, it's easier to blow shit up from the back. Yeah, I got to be in the back. Because he even said in the article, the guy's like, you know, whenever you don't want to trust them because you don't know what they're going to be up to. Up to? What the fuck are they going to be up to? Terrorizing the plane, making another 9/11. Now we're going to have a new one called 7/19, which kind of stinks. It's my dad's birthday. But, like, it's like, haha, Dad. My great-grandmother had 9/11 as her birthday, but she did it first. It was way her 9/11 before theirs. But it's like she did it. Way to go. 9/11.
She never forgot.
That was a joke I tried to do when I first started doing comedy, and I was like, 9/11, never forget. Of course I won't forget. It's my great Nana's birthday. No one liked that. I was like, God damn it.
Would you say that bomb like the Twin Towers?
Yeah, we didn't bomb. They were just like too soon. I'm like, no, not anymore, because Trump got shot in the ear, so now we can tell 9/11 jokes.
I'm back, baby.
Yeah, so those guys, it's the piece of shit is everything that's been changed since 9/11 with that kind of stuff. For now, we can't trust anybody. I wouldn't let the guy talk, let the guy be an asshole, but the fact that you're starting to think anything besides this guy is just a dick, it's starting to go like motive. It's starting to go like, oh, so now in a weird way, are you saying to all those people on the plane, you're welcome? Like, I'm a hero. I made a TikTok. I saved you. No, you were the other loud guy on the plane. Yeah, everyone on TikTok, on your TikTok, is saying they agree. If I was on that plane, I might for the first second be like, oh, this guy's loud and he sucks. But as a dad, after 2 minutes, I'm like, dude, just get the fuck up. And I'd be yelling from the side. Like, what? Get the fuck up and move over. I'll give you $20, you fucking homo. Turn your phone off.
Yeah, I want to get.
Then the guy would sit down and I'd go, you're a shitty dad. And he's like, oh, you're yelling at me too? I'm like, yeah, I'm the third guy on the plane.
Hey, aren't you the guy who called me retarded at that open mic the other night?
First of all, I didn't call you retarded, sir, until you showed your retarded self later on.
Well, Bet, that's a loving family story, and I'd
I'd
like to follow it up with a loving family story of my own.
I hope it's not man sex.
Oh, it's not, but you're gonna wish it was.
Oh no, I will never. It's not that month.
Would never. Desperate mother fights to save autistic daughter from alleged abuser.
Oh,
Police in action leaves family helpless as abuse allegations mount. On a quiet farm in rural Elizabethville, Martha Johnson and her husband, Tom Johnson. Martha's 48, Tom's 50. grapple with a nightmare that has upended their lives, Pat. Their daughter, Emily Johnson, 21, who has autism, is allegedly being held hostage and abused by her much older boyfriend in another state. Despite desperate pleas to authorities, the Johnsons have been met with a wall of indifference and inaction. 3 years ago, Emily found solace in online support groups for individuals with autism. Encouraged by her therapist to connect with like minded individuals, Emily flourished in these vital communities. She was blossoming, Martha recalls. For the first time, she was opening up
Yeah,
and
she
finding
was.
her voice. Yeah. Also, can we talk about the therapist? Hey, find more people who can't think right like you, and you should act like them. Don't ingratiate yourself with the normies.
See, you're thinking it that way. What I like is that they can watch and go, oh, good, someone else does this thing too. Like, I'd be happy to see, you know what I mean? Like, 10 other, like, you don't know, you don't see other aughts. So all of a sudden you're out there and you're going, tack, tack, tack. Then another guy goes, tack, tack, tack. You're like, oh, shit, good. Okay. So someone, I'm not the only brain in the world doing that. Real quick, Terry, I hope you meant penthouse.
Yeah, I do too, Terry. I just saw that.
It's become one of those real sexy dog stories.
She was blossoming, Martha recalls, for the first time. She was opening up and finding her voice. Among her new friends, Emily met Robert Stevens, 56, a man her parents initially believed to be a mentor. We thought he was helping her, sharing his experiences, Tom says, his voice breaking. We never imagined he would take her away. The morning Emily left with Stevens is etched in Martha's memory. I came home to find her room packed. She was excited to go. We didn't realize the danger she was walking into, Martha says, tears streaming down her face. Since that fateful day, Emily has only communicated sporadically with her parents. The little information they have managed to glean is chilling. She's not allowed to speak to us unless he's in the room. He's taken all of her important documents, her ID, her birth certificate, Tom explains. She told us he's abusing her, but she won't give us his address. She sounds scared. Martha and Tom have made repeated appeals to the police, but their pleas have fallen on deaf ears. They say it's hearsay, that she's an adult, she can make her own choices, Martha says, her frustration palpable, but they don't understand her autism. She's vulnerable, and he's exploiting that. Their latest call with Emily left them in despair. She sounded so panicked. He's getting more angry, Martha says, clutching a photo of Emily. I begged her to tell me where she is, but she wouldn't. She's too scared. The Johnsons feel abandoned by the very system that should protect their daughter. We raised the alarm. We did everything we could, and still nothing, Tom says. I feel like a failure as a father. I allowed this man into our lives, and now my daughter is suffering because of it. Martha's voice wavers with this desperation. We're terrified she'll end up dead by his hands. We need help, and we need someone to listen. Pat, who is the piece of shit in this story? Is it Robert Stevens or whatever the guy is? Stevens. He's 36 years older than Emily. Now, you could make the argument he is autistic, so he may have just collected her papers to keep them nice and organized, right? Like they like to do their things, maybe put them in Ziploc baggies and everything. And maybe he's not abusive. He's just making her do things she doesn't want to do, like shower, brush your teeth. I know autistic people who hate doing those things. My buddy Buckley fucking hates deodorant. We had to beat him with a sock full of pennies until he would put it on every day.
That's not a good thing to do. Maybe just...
You didn't smell Buckley. Now he wears deodorant.
I know, but like to even make someone take a shower, there's awful stories about that kind of stuff. Usually, putting them in there, you're going to learn to shower and scalding hot water, all this stuff. No matter what, you take somebody, you don't let them talk on the phone. I don't care how autistic you are. Call the cops. Like I'll wait to get to my piece of shit. But like,
okay, all right, I see where you're coming from. So is it him? Is it the girl? Like you were a big enough girl to decide to go off with this man. You're a big enough girl to call the cops, like you just pointed out. Unless if you're nonverbal, like you know how to use a phone, figure it out, you can get out of that situation. Those girls got out of that thing in Ohio. Remember when they were in that dude's
Took them a while, though.
Yeah, but they were playing with a much more severe handicap than this girl is. Possibly. Is it the police? like, yes, there's a law, but then there's also your goal, which is to serve and protect. It feels like you're not serving or protecting here. Like, at least go do a courtesy wellness check, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, do your thing. And then I guess the final option would be, is it the parents? Like, we all let bad people into people we care about's lives. That's not what I'm saying. We can all make misjudgments, but at the same time, like, problem solved, kind of, right?
Problem solved.
Yeah.
What?
Like,
oh, you mean
like
they got rid of
something
her?
you thought you were going to be dealing with the rest of your life, you now
Oh.
no longer have to deal with. The budget
Oh.
can be readdressed. All of
Oh,
a sudden,
God,
that
no.
vacation beach house is back in the picture.
Your child's kidnapped by a psycho old man. No. Like, maybe my piece of shit's now you for that last song. What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I did gotta alienate you. I gotta get out of here and get some strange. It is not an autistic girl. Well, some might say,
No.
but anyway.
Anyone that finds you charming has to have a bit of the spectrum on them.
No, autism isn't enough of a description. You have to go way further down the line.
The my piece of shit is something I've used the last couple of times, but it's once again here, easy to solve. Yeah, you can't call the cops because they're not helping you out. You can't go there yourself. You can't get the address. You know, get the address. You know, it's better than cops. Goons, fucking goons. Hire goons. Stop calling the police. This is not a police matter. This is a goons matter. Fucking said you say got these letters. Here's the name. Here's the information. They got one goon who fucking scout goon. It's kind of like the Native Americans back in the day. Scout goon goes out there, does the fucking work, finds the Johnsons. I know it's a hard name at first, but you can find the Johnson with the girl's paperwork with the fucking other Robert Louis Stevenson, and they put them together, and they can be fine. You find them. Then you got some surveillance goons who watch the area to make sure everything's going all right. Then you call back and go, okay, here's what we see. It's one guy, but he's autistic, looks a little strong. It's gonna take 4 of us. Here's the money. Offer whatever. You let us know. You sign a contract with goons. Goons go in, fuck him up. Probably molest her a little bit because they're like, they won't notice because he was molesting her. And then you bring her back safe, kind of. Goons, they get the job done.
Yeah, I did. I think my phone heard you say that the last time we did this because I literally, after we got done, was on Facebook and saw a reel where it was like, and what do you do if you get in trouble? And the little girl was like, find the meanest biker and ask for help, because you're absolutely right. Goons have a soft spot.
Goons. And
me,
it's more jobs for people in the economy.
That is true. For me, the piece of shit is the person who wrote the story. Like, why is this in the New York Times?
Didn't you AI write that?
No, this is a real story. It was like a mother's desperate plea for help, and they wrote it so soppingly wet and tear-jerky that it almost makes you hate the parents. Like, I started smiling 3/4 of the way through because I thought of that joke about problem solved, because I didn't feel bad anymore the third time they were like, and Martha was weeping.
Martha has to weep sometimes. Those are old-timey names, too.
They were old. What I thought was funny is that the dude is the guy who's older than her. Or the guy that's kidnapped her is older than both of her parents.
Now, your parents are married the whole time, right? Your whole life they've been married?
Mm-hmm.
If they got divorced, let's just say they did, right? Okay. And you were Bobby Tamburo, you're still you. So you've got a little bit of a career going, a point where you have your name, right? But then let's say at one point your name was Bobby Tamburo, but then like it was also Bobby Tamburo Schmeckel or whatever the other, when they got divorced, you kind of took on the other name,
Mm-hmm.
So whatever the other last name is, your mother's maiden name, Schmeckel. So it'd be like Schmeckel Tamburo or whatever, Tamburo Schmeckel. And then after a while, when one of the parents is being kind of weird, would you go back and legally change your name to just Bobby Tamburo and lose the Schmeckel just to piss Schmeckel off because she was being mean?
That's a lot of paperwork, but yes, especially if Schmeckel was being mean.
Well, guess what? You have something in common with the daughter of 2 of the hottest people in the world.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Angelina Jolie's daughter, Shiloh, publishes newspaper announcement to drop dad Brad Pitt's last name. She made a newspaper announcement. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, which, by the way, that's the sex tape you want. At their primes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Angelina Jolie, when they're like, what you call it?
Mr. and
Laura
Mrs.
Croft
Smith.
body, like that one. No, even that was all right, but the Laura Croft body with Brad Pitt, anything in fucking like what's in the box? That Brad Pitt, that's some golden goddamn sex right there.
Fucking Fight Club Pitt.
Yeah, then she's just she takes the part of Ed Norton.
Oh God,
yeah, there you go.
Brad would have never divorced her if he was fucking himself. There's nothing he loves more in the world than himself.
Than him. So Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's daughter Shiloh is forging ahead with her plan to remove Pitt from her legal name. The 18-year-old recently published a notice in the Los Angeles Times to announce that she was dropping Pitt from her surname. Although it was previously reported that she had taken out an ad, an insider confirmed to Page 6 that it was a legal notice. So she didn't even pay for it. You got the money.
Yeah.
Why is it illegal? Who gives a fuck? According to California law, a person is required to publish a request. I didn't know that. In the notices section of the newspaper in its general circulation. What the fuck law is that?
California's got many more things they should worry about before that.
So, wait. So, if I get a restraining order or a no contact against somebody and I don't want them to know I'm changing shit to get them out of my life, I gotta put it in the paper?
No, I think the paper has to print it if you request it. So, like,
right, I'm saying they got to put it out, but they're saying a law, you have to do it.
Right. So if I come to you and go, I want you to file this request, like change your name request, you as the newspaper have to do it for free. I don't have to come to you, though. Oh,
I'm not talking about being free or anything like that. I said, like, if you're trying to get away from someone and make a name change, they can... It's supposed to be they're blocked and have no contact from you, and you have to announce it to that person. So what's the point of the law?
No. You don't have to go to the newspaper. Like if you as an individual approach the paper and go, I had a
person is required to publish a request.
Right. So the newspaper is required to publish your request that your new
publishing the request of name change. It has to just say I'm changing my name. They're not requesting anything from the newspaper.
That seems crazy.
No, that's why I didn't understand what you were talking about. Like, it's not, they have to, I've heard it in other places before, but I didn't know it was a law thing. But yeah, it's called a request to change name. So they have to publish a request to change name in the paper. The paper has to put it in the legal notices section to let people know. Back in the day, it was for like business stuff like that. Oh, I was dealing with Mrs. So-and-so. Well, you guys all know now Mrs. So-and-so is Mr. This. And they're like, okay. But now it's not even needed anymore. It's like those other dumb laws that are still there for no reason. Because you can literally put it on social media and get more reach than you would in a fucking newspaper. No one's reading the newspaper.
That would have saved so much time in the movie Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Yeah, the whole thing. That and a phone.
Yeah, dude, a phone, big time.
There's so many movies from the 80s and 90s are solved in 2 minutes with a phone. I think there is like a YouTube video channel about that. They just go through all the movies and go, phone, okay, done, phone, GPS, done.
What's the one, Die Hard, phone?
Yeah. Oh, my God, 2 seconds, phone. The teenager is seeking to change her name from Shiloh Nouvelle Jolie Pitt to Shiloh Nouvelle Jolie. Where is she? A rep for the LA Times didn't immediately return Page 6's request for comment. As Page 6 reported, Shiloh filed a petition on her 18th birthday in May, insinuating that she doesn't want to be associated with her famous father amid his brutal divorce battle with the Girl Interrupted star. An insider told Entertainment Tonight that Shiloh hired and paid for her own attorney, so Angie doesn't know and can't speak for it.
Angie doesn't know. Angie doesn't know. Don't tell Angie, because Angie doesn't know.
However, Pitt insiders question who was really behind the significant move, telling Page 6 reasonable people should draw their own conclusions as to who was actually behind it. A source also told people that in the Ocean's 11 actor was aware and upset about his daughter's action. He never felt more joy than when she was born. He always wanted a daughter, the source shared. So that's one of the ones they made. That's not one of the ones they scooped. Okay. The reminders. What?
I was just thinking of them picking up African babies like the claw machine.
Yeah. They just go in. They just go grab them out. Yeah, get one. Quick, throw a ball. See which one gets it first. That's a test.
Oh, God. How fast is your 40? You're 16 years old. Would you like to be adopted and come to the school that's really good at football and needs a right tackle?
It would be like in the movie Airplane. When they show the guy going over to like help over in the third world countries, and he just hands a basketball to a tribe, and he takes one bounce and shows, and they start dunking and doing alley oops and shit.
That's an amazing movie.
Yeah. The reminder that he's lost his children is of course not easy for Brad. He loves his children and misses them. It's very sad. In fact, the former couple's other kids have also dropped his moniker in public settings. Pitt, 60, and Jolie's eldest, Zahara, make headlines last fall when she proudly shouted her shortened name during an Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority induction ceremony in 2023. Oh man, someone's banging the shit out of Savannah fucking Jolie Pitt, whatever. The Spelman College student screamed, Sahara Marley Jolie. Their names suck, dude. People have money. They make them stupid. They do Harry Potter spells. It's just so stupid.
Yuck.
Sahara fucking. My name's Mahatma Gandhi Jolie fucking Pitt.
Apple. Whose was Apple? Was that Madonna?
No, it's what's her name? The one who put her vagina smell in perfume.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
There you go. Yeah, she has Apple. That's it.
Goop.
By the way, I like that if you and I were on some game show,
yeah.
we would ruin it in 2 seconds. It's like, all right, who is Apple? I go, you know that lady whose vagina had a stink in a perfume? They're like, oh yeah.
They're the best ever at this game. We've got their.
They're like, you guys have to get off our channel right the fuck now. It's extremely upsetting. A Pitt source admitted to Page 6. She has used the kids as a weapon against Brad. She has separated them from him. This is a whole pattern. Anytime she has a win in court, she hits back with something to do with the kids. The Once Upon a Time, I don't know why they put her in that. That's that you always talk about that, but Once Upon a Time, I liked that show that was on fucking ABC back in the day, where it's like a modern version of like the fairy tales. But that's not something she's known for.
No, and you also shouldn't use a show somebody's not really known for when their husband, who's also in the story, is in a movie much more famous, where that's half of the title.
Yeah.
Right? Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is what I thought you were going to say. When you said Once Upon a Time, I was like, oh, Brad Pitt.
You know what? Maybe it was that. Maybe they mean Brad. Maybe it was Once Upon a Time. I just assumed it was the TV show because she was in that as a wicked lady like for 2 episodes.
So clearly a terrible reference. What's up, Bailey?
Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
Vivian Jolie Pitt, 16, also denounced her father's surname when she used Vivian Jolie in the playbill in the Broadway adaptation of The Outsiders, which she worked on as an assistant with her 49-year-old mother. Oh, she's not even in it. She's just like getting coffee for her mom as her mom directs fucking The Outsiders on Broadway. By the way, that's got to be terrible. A bunch of people trying to look like fucking Ralph Macchio and fucking all those dreamy hunks.
Oh, God.
Tom Cruise. But all just so gay because it's 2024. There's probably a black woman in it. You're like, wait, why are you in this? Sam J. Why are you in The Outsiders?
Oh, fucking terrible.
The Goutsiders, they're all limp with their stupid feet because they're pirates and they drink. Could be that. The whole pattern, go the whole thing. Once upon a time person. The former couple who were together for 12 years for calling it quits were declared legally single in 2019. Their battles over their Chateau Miraval winery and child custody remain ongoing. Who's the piece of shit in the story? Is it the daughter for putting an ad in the paper and changing her name, or the other daughters for also changing their name? Do you do that to your dad? You already were going with hyphenated names as it was. You could say it out loud that you're just Jolie and not say Pitt, but you put the hyphen there at one point for the reasons because there was a joint thing. You didn't get to just take your dad's name, which already is a little bit emasculating. That Jolie's like, I'm famous too, so the kids have to know. It's like, why do the kids have to know that everyone knows we're married? They're my kids. And that's just kind of how everyone does it. It's not, yes, feminists, you can change things all you want, but that's not what you want, really. You just want to be treated equal. And in equal worlds, we do this. You're like, let's make it different. Well, that's not equal. Just fucking ask that you do it too. That's not one of you dumb women can put your stupid name on some kid because you want to rub clam. You don't gotta fucking change everything. You just do the same thing, but like a lady does.
Also, Kanye nailed that one because North Kardashian just sounds stupid.
Yeah. Northwest. I mean, you can't even do it.
Yeah, that's my point.
It'd be Crashing Kardashian. That's who it would have to be.
Oh, God. That's when she does all of her drugs and hits her fucking Paris Hilton stage.
Yeah, or just because it's a fun accident name. But or is a piece of shit Angelina Jolie. So apparently she's telling these children to do this in the divorce thing. Don't fucking ground your kids. That's not good. Is it Brad Pitt for not fucking standing up and yelling and doing shit? Is it fucking articles that cover this stuff? This is stuff we don't need to know. The divorce. I mean, I didn't even care about the marriage. I get it though. People, you're in the public spotlight, but why do we care about the public spotlight? These are two people whose whole lives they played make believe real good. Like they're the best at imagination time, and they're so good at it. Everyone's like, "Oh, he must be brilliant." No, you gotta be retarded. Like seriously, monthly wrong with you. If all your life is like, I pretend to be other things, and then go back to regular life, that's a crazy person. Like if you see a guy who's outside going, "I'm a genie," and he's dancing around. And then and then sometimes he takes time off from being the genie outside yelling shit. You call the police. But like Brad Pitt's like, I'm a pirate now for like months. You're like, you're not a pirate. You're not a pirate at all. You're just wearing a fucking Halloween costume and you got dorks around. Because there's dorks around you with cameras. You're like, this is official. Yeah, that's how people get into porn. Some guy's like, no, it's for a movie. It just fucks you. Like, yeah, it's stupid. Who's the piece of shit?
Pat, it's not Angelina Jolie, right?
Too hot?
Now, you can make the argument that like 99% of the time women are vindictive in divorces and in all relationships in general, and will use anything they can, especially kids, against you. But I don't think that's what's going on here. I don't think Angelina Jolie has anything to be insecure about. I don't think her entire career, when you stack it up against Brad Pitt's, is anything to shy away from. I don't think she has any inferiority complex, and just by making her art, she could clearly compete with Brad Pitt. I think the piece of shit here, I don't think it's the daughter. I get trying to piss off your dad who's been super successful and has given you this beautiful life, and even when your mom's career fell off, has continued to make hit after hit after hit to fund this exorbitant lifestyle you've become accustomed to. You should piss him off. And I think the best way you could probably piss him off would be to hit up like a shitty, slightly above open micer comedian who lives in New York City and slide in the DMs. He does a podcast with a guy named Pat Oates. It'd be a lot of fun. The piece of shit's Brad Pitt. Much like the story I just presented, problem solved. Sounds to me like you got 3 less whiny bitches in your life. Why are you hurt? You should be out celebrating every night and find somebody your daughter's age to bang.
I don't know.
You seen his butt in Troy?
You started way on one side and fucking swung all the way somewhere else.
That's what they call me. Curveball, knuckleball, Tamburo.
That's a fucking long name. Well, he throws too. He throws too good. I can't just call him knuckleball. He also knows the curve. They call him knuckleball, slider, screwball, changeup, fastball, fucking beanball, Tamburo. It's like, okay. It's a lot of names. I believe the piece of shit in the story are the kids. So you're that worried about the money? Is that what it is? Because they're getting divorced. You think one parent can't take care of you by themselves? They're so rich. They're so rich. It doesn't matter. Keep both names because you want to be in both wills. You want to be in both both insurances. You want to be able to use both names somewhere. Keep both names. And yes, you could quietly report it if there's a law where you have to put the change in. That's one thing. When someone asks, you could just say, I love my father very much, but this is just a decision I'm doing for a professional name. It's going to be shorter. And this is the one we went with, Don or our mom. And that's it. Or just say nothing. No comment. Just made a change. Just something I had to do. So to me, it's them for fucking you want a 16-year-old, 18-year-old, 20-year-old. This is them wanting to go, hey, someone care about us. Sorry, when your two parents are two of the hottest people ever created, you don't get to be thought about ever because is that creepy. You don't ever want to. Now, if they get hot and older, it's going to be too hard because you're thinking about, their parents. You've known about them since they were created. You've kind of known about their lot. You can't beat off to that when they're 23. You can't.
I'm just saying, if you want to be relevant for a few minutes, do something egregious. Fly to New York City, visit your mom while she's producing that Broadway play. August 8th, 9th, and 10th, you meet a strange, glorified open micer. He drives you up to Comics Mohegan Sun to see him and his buddy Pat Oates record a comedy album.
Me. Get the fuck. I'm not having that upstage my album recording. Get the fuck out of here.
Pat, it's the Pitcom.
Oh, get that Pitcom. No. Oh, God.
Pat, I'm going to give you a choice. for the next story. Japanese gymnastics or Burger King?
Japanese gymnastics.
I figured that's what you were going to go with.
And what up, Bailey? What's going on, man? And Biggie Smith. Yeah, I took it to a creepy level. So you have to.
That's what we do.
That's what people do. Like, no, fuck that. Dude, that happens all the time. The combination of two famous people, when they make a thing, you're like, that thing's going to be... DNA won't allow it to not be a thing.
It was a Tosh joke for a while because he was like, David Beckham and Brad Pitt should have a kid and they should call it pick
Well,
up.
that
That's why we
was
laughed
not
at-
about
yeah.
jerking off to the actual kid when it's older now. Like, I get the difference a little bit.
That's the little Dicky lyric, and I'm jerking off to Topanga Lawrence and not like the 16-year-old. Isn't it?
I mean, I guess I didn't think I twice now you've tried to find a way for me to like be stealing someone's material.
No. I'm trying to help.
I don't know what to do here. We all say you're reading, you're stealing Huck Finn's material.
Right now, I'm stealing Ryan Glasspiegel's. The Japanese gymnast Shoko Miyata kicked off the Olympics team over smoking. The Japanese artistic gymnastics team has sent its captain home from Olympics training for violating the team's smoking ban. Shoko Miyata was sent home from Monaco, where the team is training because smoking violates the Japan Gymnastics Association Code of Conduct. With her confirmation and after discussions on all sides, it has been decided that she will withdraw from the Olympics. Kenji Nishimura, the Secretary General of the Japan Gymnastics Association, told reporters. Miyata looked exhausted at the training camp, Nishimura said. Miyata's personal coach, Mutsumi Harada, asked for empathy for the athlete. She was spending her days really burned in with so much pressure. I would implore people to understand that, Harada said. Miyata, 19, was a bronze medalist on the beam at the 2022 World Gymnastics Championships. Because of her banishment, Japan will compete with 4 gymnasts instead of 5. We apologize from the bottom of our hearts for this, Tadashi Fujita, president of Japan Gymnastics Association, said according to The Guardian. So, Pat, who is your piece of shit in this story? Is it Shoko Miko? I mean, homegirl just wants to puff past. Ain't nothing wrong with that, is there? I thought this was the world. I thought this was, the Olympics. Do what it takes to win.
Wait, what?
I was gonna say I thought this was America, but I forgot it was the Japanese gymnastics team. So
this was the world. Yeah, it's the world.
Yeah, show them what you're made
You
of.
thought it was Olympics. Yeah, you're not supposed to smoke Olympics, dude. Like, you're supposed to be an athlete. You don't have smokes.
But is it not more impressive if they do
No,
smoke?
it's not more impressive to do drugs.
Oh. Hey, Kish, welcome aboard. You should come to the Bijou Theater tomorrow. I really need to move some
Stop
tickets,
yelling
please.
at Kish.
He just jumped in and said good evening. I was saying hi.
I know, but you're like,
So
right away, you jumped on his throat. You're like, come to my show. Say hi. Ease in. Don't you kiss before you fist, Bobby.
I'm really going to take that advice and apply it in a lot of areas of my life, Pat.
Yeah, with some strange.
Some strange tonight, yeah. So we got Shoko Miko. Is it her? We've all seen the old school clip with Vince Vaughn, right? He's on the ring smoking the cigarette, doing the skin the cat, and then the Jesus thing. That's pretty impressive, and he did it with the cigarettes. Makes it more impressive. Michael Phelps, the best athlete arguably of all time, smokes, right? So is it her? I guess you have a
He could have been
huge...
so much better if he didn't smoke. He was
But he
already
was
the
the
greatest.
best.
He could have been even
Yeah.
greatest.
So is it her for smoking and giving up a potentially big opportunity? Like, it's Japan, so this is probably your one chance at having a husband and being happy. Is it
What
the
are you talking about? You can get a white woman. You get a white man anytime you want, baby.
Is it the Japanese gymnastics team? Like, do you want your gymnast skinny or not? You know what I mean? Like, part of gymnastics is you got to be skinny and just no muscle fat on you, so they can't eat. Let her smoke a little bit. Good point. Should she have to smoke during her routine ones, like a whole pack of cigarettes during the floor routine, and then maybe, she learns her lesson? Is it the Olympics? Like, you can't step in here now. If tobacco isn't banned from the Olympic sport, this girl should get to compete as an independent and see if she places in the all-around. That's how I feel about it. She worked her whole life for this. I know she's 19, but literally at 12, she basically made a decision to have no friends and dedicate her whole life to gymnastics. And now we're going to take it away because she smoked a cigarette. You ever do something dumb at 19, Pat? Did it change the trajectory of your whole life?
Yeah, but I can't say her name on here. Boom,
Good, because
that's
I
our
think she's
show.
coming over. I think that's the Strange tonight. Boom. That's the
banging
show.
people I know. Get the fuck out of here. We're not Eskimo brothers ever.
So who's your piece of
That's
shit?
the one thing
in
that
story?
stinks, by the way, about dating a girl that used to go to high school with you a long time ago. Because then, like, you find out other people that you went to high school with. It's been over a lot of years, but you have so many Eskimo brothers that you just knew as the guy at recess. That's not cool. Anyway, go ahead.
No, who's your piece of shit?
Oh, it's not this girl. I mean, it's not illegal to smoke a cigarette. And I mean, we can't, like, you were like, hey, if it's your dream, this and that, whatever. Okay. You can't chase dreams unless you know there's failures. Like, if everybody chases their dream and makes it, then it's not a dream. It's just something you do. So we need people like this lady to stink and fucking blow it. We always need the blow its. You know what I mean? In sports and acting and like, how many guys, it's like this guy was going to go to medical school. He was going to do this and this. And then that one day where he fisted a clown, you're like, oh, no, because I can't be a doctor now because of the clown fisting. And you're like, nah, maybe that guy wasn't supposed to be a doctor. We need that story. So the next guy goes, either I got to do heart surgery tomorrow or I got to put my fist inside someone named Bozo. What am I going to do? It's like, you know what? Surgery tomorrow. And then that guy chased his dream and did it. So it's not her fault for that shit. It's Japanese gymnastics. That's karate. You don't get to fucking change the name because you want to. Flipping around doing your kicks. It's you.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
For me, the piece of shit's also Japan or North Korea. Because offer this girl citizenship. All of a sudden, you've got a new star ready to compete for the Olympics, and it's Shoko Miko. Give her all the cigarettes she wants. Look at how sad she is. She doesn't get to compete, dude.
Yeah, okay. But by the way, that's not a picture of her.
Not even close.
And second of all, if right away I would just, if I was Mazda, dude, I'm all over this. Yeah, have a sudden change in plans and have to leave unexpectedly. The Mazda Miata. And then she goes, not Miata. Miata with a D. And it just spells it out.
That'd be amazing.
And then she flips over the car and that's it.
She blows her cigarette and it's just, yeah, exactly.
That'd be the greatest commercial. The Mazda Miata.
Clown Face brings up a good point. A cigarette
I was
does
gonna say,
make it
whenever he
harder to
writes
breathe.
big, I gotta check it out. Go ahead.
No, a cigarette would make breathing hard, therefore making it harder to compete. It's not a performance enhancer. It's a personal choice. The Olympics are just a virtue signaling. The piece of shit are the Olympics. I would agree.
I don't
Because
agree.
the Greeks. Go ahead. We'll hear your take, and then I'll take it.
Say it makes it harder. No one asked you to put up your own obstacle and challenge. But we don't need handicaps in Olympics. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, we don't need them in those.
I mean,
we don't need the real ones. We
They're my
also don't
favorite.
need like the gambling version of it. Like, that guy's really good at swimming, not as good as you. But what if we let him smoke cigarettes? Will that be fair? You get it from the lady tease, bitch. So it doesn't. You don't set up your own obstacles.
My favorite is when the handicaps win both the handicapped and the regular Olympics, and they get tired of people talking about how cool they were, so they kill their wife.
Is that her porn name, or did you leave the G off on purpose? What?
I would say, all right, so the Olympics came from the Greeks, right? And the Greeks were known for what? They had these people who could tell the future by huffing crazy fumes that came out of the earth. That's basically a cigarette. Let her smoke cigs. That should be an Olympic sport, and the Chinese would dominate.
That is not a cigarette. It's not even close to a cigarette. All right. What do I got? Oh, yeah, I got this picture of this lady. Hold on.
Beely says it's
Oh!
Japan's
Good.
Gymnastics Association, not Olympic Association. So Japan's the piece of shit. I've always said that ever since they sucker punched us.
I mean,
Still,
kind
like,
of.
feel like we haven't really gotten revenge.
Why do we have so many fucking ace reporters? Everyone's like, no, actually, Japanese people like to eat cauliflower. It's like, who gives a fuck? It's a fucking bullshit show. We don't know what we're doing. We're just reading horse shit. Here's a fun fact. It's not fun nor a fact. Who gives a fuck? Yeah,
I
always do the
enjoyed it,
accent.
B.
Fuck you. Don't kiss B's ass. What are you doing? You always kiss men's ass. You should kiss women's butts.
I'm
Like the one
going
you're
to
gonna kiss
tonight.
tonight for some
Yeah,
drink.
dude. We got a
Yeah.
big one. It's going to be exciting.
Do you know what the exact opposite of a hot lady is?
An ugly boy?
Richard Simmons, laid to death. His
Oh,
cause of death
shit.
is still under investigation. AIDS. Case solved.
Dude.
Richard Simmons can finally rest in peace, or rest in penis. The fitness icon's private funeral was held in Los Angeles on Friday with his family and closest friends. The news comes nearly 1 week after Simmons was discovered unresponsive by his housekeeper on Saturday, July 13th at his home, just a day after he turned 76. He was pronounced dead on the scene. And then there's just a bunch of gay-ass pictures of Richard Simmons. Our beloved Dickie. Oh,
Did you
God
hear
damn
Did you hear the headline? A 76-year-old homo died today.
Can't do it, so we gotta say his name. Dude, I don't like they call. I never thought of him as Dickie Simmons. Now I can't fucking. Our beloved Dickie was laid to rest this morning, surrounded by only family and closest friends. His publicist, Tom Estee, told people on behalf of Simon's brother, Lenny. Lenny Simmons must be like, dude, my brother is so gay.
Is he though?
You know, dude, you think Lenny was on the wrestling team? And he's like, Lenny, where are all our wrestling singers? He's like, I don't
Richard,
know.
Dickie,
don't
give
know.
me back my goddamn singlets. You're not an athlete. God
Why are you
damn it,
using
Dickie!
that?
You already made the weight for this cut.
Why are you wrestling at your jazzercise meeting? Why do you need all these outfits? What is going on? We pray for your continued love and support during this very difficult time. Everyone there sweated to the oldies in his honor. No, I'm kidding. That's my favorite video. When that came out, like, what the fuck? It's like old, but they showed old people in the commercial, but it wasn't really old people. But they made you think if you watch this, you're gonna watch Richard Simmons and 70-year-old women just scoot around. I'm like, no, thank you. The oldies was the music. Simmons was buried at the Pierce Brothers Westward Village Memorial Park and mortuary, according to his death certificate obtained by TMZ. TMZ, can we get a copy, please? We don't believe Richard Simmons is dead. It's like, you guys should be dead. What the fuck? It's like, can we have a picture to prove Richard Simmons is dead? Because, people have given a shit about him since 1987.
There might be more to this story I'll get to in my POS, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt for now.
All right, the document did not list the cause of death, noting the manner is still under investigation. The weight loss guru, whose real name was Milton Teagle Richard Simmons. What? Milton Teagle?
Dude, how gay do you have to be to get the nickname Dickie?
Yeah, they're like, we're just calling him Dick.
Yeah, they're like, dude, he takes so much. Can we at least
And by
call
the
him
way,
Richard?
If he took his initials and then Richard, he could be MT Dickie Simmons. He's just always
MT?
empty in his dick. Empty and Dick Simmons. The weight loss guru allegedly suffered a fall in his bathroom the night before his passing, with sources telling the outlet that he refused to get medical attention despite his housekeeper's concern. He reportedly felt dizzy before the fall, but declined assistance because he wanted to be home on his birthday, insider said. The Post confirmed with the LA Medical Examiner's Office that Simmons' cause of death was deferred and is pending investigation. That was also noted on his death certificate, per TMZ, because they have it.
Boom, boom, boom.
It could take up to 3 months before the cause is determined. We gotta move all that jizz.
Jizzerettes on jizzerettes.
Jizzer size. While the TV personality's death remains a mystery, a source said police are not pursuing the investigation as if foul play was involved at this point. Simmons, who in March revealed he was diagnosed with skin cancer, had been a recluse for over a decade before his death. While his decision to stay out of Hollywood spotlight concerned fans, where is he? Where the fuck is Richard? I'm not seeing him on game shows running in all gay. Where is he on Good Morning America going, the weather's my
dude.
balls?
No. I fell down this rabbit hole. That's what I was saving, dude. You have no idea how nuts these people fucking went. They ruined Richard Simmons' life for a while.
Yeah, but dude, he ruined our lives. You didn't grow up in that time. I didn't need to see a man's junk and he has like a Ronald McDonald hair. It was the worst, dude. That singlet sucked. First of all, and he's not in shape. So he come out, I'm a fit dude. He goes like, you're a fat old lady. You look like a fucking fat lady.
Come on, ladies. We're going to barely be fuckable. I know this real well. Get it, girl.
Fucking fat ass lady. All right, so who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it police for still going into the investigation? Is it for people who think there's foul play? He's 76. He fell on his head the next day he died. That's what happened in 76. You can't fall at 76. Is it people who think he's a fucking icon? Everyone who was gay in the 70s and 80s has to be called an icon because they weren't allowed to call him gay. They're like, oh, they were like, icon, Jack Cumbia or whatever. It's like nobody gives a shit. Rock Hudson was an icon. No, he was an all-right actor back in the day. He just was the first guy to have AIDS a bunch, and that's all that fucking mattered. So, who is the piece of shit? Is it Richard Simmons for dying? Is his parents were naming him Milton?
So,
Who's the piece of shit?
For starters, I told my mom about Richard Simmons passing. I remember she had some exercise tapes growing up, and she went, I didn't have that. And I'm not going to repeat the word she said, but she said a gay slurs tapes. She wanted to make it clear she was not working out with him.
Not a supporter of the community.
Well, here's my thing about that.
Your mom
do we know he was
of the gay community?
Well, do we know he was just gay? Because like every report I heard was he was like super sexual with whoever was there. Like
he
never
was a fuck thing for Hollywood, supposedly. That's been said.
Exactly.
Anyone could. Supposedly he was just gay. But rumor and innuendo say that he would do anything for money or fame or attention. So he would be with a woman if he had to, but he'd rather just have some cock.
That makes sense. For me, the piece of shit's the housekeeper. Well, not to me either, but for me, the piece of shit's the housekeeper, who coincidentally was in the story and made the report. He refused to get medical attention. Now, Pat, do you remember when Richard Simmons went missing? Were you swept up in that craze at all?
No, somehow I didn't give a fuck.
I did. It was one of the first podcasts I got into. I don't know why. I think we've even talked about
Richard Simmons
it.
is missing?
Yeah. And basically, this dude's life got turned around by Richard Simmons. He was fat, overweight, he was gay and shy. And Richard Simmons found him one day and was like, hey, like, we can change your confidence. Like, you're beautiful now, and like helped him to do a diet. He would go hang out with Richard like once a month at Richard's house, or Richard would come to his. He was in all the jazzercise. Exactly. He would do all the classes Richard would teach at his local studio. And then one day out of the blue, Richard just stopped showing up. And this dude was like, what happened? Like, I thought he was my friend. He didn't even give me a heads up. So he started reaching out. And the first suspect they had was the housekeeper, that she was keeping him locked up and drugged up, kind of like the Misery type situation, and just feeding off of his money. And Richard loved this woman and was going to leave a bunch of her money to her in the will. So it's weird. It's weird that she was there when he fell and wouldn't call the. So there's that.
Oh, papi, see me as you fall on ground or dead. Leave pesos under the pillow for me.
So they harassed her. They harassed his gardener. They harassed some other people. There was a theory he had a connection to the Russian mob at one point that they harassed. And finally, it got so bad, Richard Simmons had to come out and be like, I'm a gay man, gay old man who's just tired of being in the limelight. Leave me alone. Everything's fine. I just want to be left the fuck alone. Yeah. And then he got skin cancer. Wink, wink. Sounds like PCP pneumonia to me.
Nice. To me, the piece of shit is people who think that there's some fucking foul play with Richard Simmons. I think that guy had some money, but not the money you guys think he had. He ran around, did a lot of work all the way to the end. You weren't making big money off those appearances on talk shows and game shows and those videos. Back in that day with that processing and all that stuff, you weren't making a ton of cash off that. He probably had some books and things like that sold really well, and that weight loss system thing, and whatever he would do, that probably made a little bit of money, but that money's not coming in anymore, so there's nothing replenishing that. You don't have a savings when you're trying to live that super gay ass lifestyle. You know what I mean? So yeah, this guy was just 76 and he was just gonna die. Nobody wanted his money or gives a fuck or wants the Richard Simmons estate or any shit like that. He just died. Yeah, maybe it wasn't AIDS, but I'm pretty sure it was AIDS. But either way, if it wasn't AIDS, maybe he slipped on some AIDS and he fell down and he died. But either way, he's just dead. Fucking no investigation. Why didn't he put it down? Maybe he didn't put it down because maybe he was doing some fucked up shit. Maybe he was getting fucking fisted by fucking 2 squirrels and a priest, and all of a sudden, don't put that out there. Just say I fell. And he died.
What'd you do? Slip, fall, and land on his dick?
Yeah.
All right,
we
Grady.
We can see yours and their nuts.
All right, Shady. Maybe he's right, Grady. Think about the baby before you get all crazy. Okay, thought about it. Still want to stab her?
Can you do plugs real quick and stuff like that and get them to like and subscribe? I'll be right back. Ask their opinion on our video at the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys were around at the beginning, let me know in the comments here while I do the rest of our plugs what you thought of our new opening video. Just something to make it seem a little bit more professional, a little more, if you will. So this weekend, I am tomorrow night, kish, at the Bijou Theater. It would be a lot of fun if any of you guys came out, stop by, say hi. I am featuring for the Pennsylvania legend, probably Connecticut as well, Earl David Reed. He was basically Larry the Cable Guy before Larry the Cable Guy joined the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, and then it blew up. A lot of fun. It'll definitely be a lot of fun crowd work. It'll be a great show. If you're free and looking for something to do, definitely come out. More importantly than that, though, if you're in the Connecticut area, August 8th, 9th, and 10th, come to Comics Mohegan Sun. See Pat's album taping. We're recording Thursday, Friday, 2 shows Saturday. And you might be asking, which show do you think will be recorded? We're recording them all. They're all going to be used. And the one that's probably going to be the bulk of the footage would be the Saturday Late Show. But there's going to be a lot of fun extras and stuff at all of them. So make sure you come on out. The other thing, like and subscribe here. Take some of these clips, share, tell your friends. And nobody got back to me in the chat, so I'm just going to assume you guys were all blown away by the opening video. You all loved it, and you're all quickly buying tickets to comicsroadhouse.com to get to see Pat. You have to do a show Saturday night and Sunday. That's okay, Ricky. I'm sure we'll link at some point, and if you're looking for a show to come to, I know it's probably pretty far out of the way for you, but come out to Pat's show at the Mohegan Sun. That'll be a fun one. You didn't see the opening video. I don't have it here ready to go, or I'd play it for you again, but that's okay. We had some crazy things happen in the news recently. Oh, Pat's back. Thank God.
Yeah, I was sitting here for a second while you were like, here's the news.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I'll play it for these fuckers so they can see it.
I'm sorry.
POS show yo. POS show yo.
Figured if I played it
POS show, yo.
people would be like, "Hey, is this over?" And then they would leave. So
No,
it's not over. It's
back.
close to over.
I got one more story. Do you have another one?
You guys have a YouTube channel. Post it. Yeah, I know,
think you didn't realize it was like an intro video. Not AI generated. The song was Blaze, You Piece of Love, who I want to make sweet love to, and definitely just don't want to do that thing we were talking about. I just forgot to text you back.
I think the Blaze did it. He sang the song.
Yeah, that's who it was. Thank you, Kevin.
Oh,
I appreciate it.
I gotta run away for one more second. I got someone coming to the door. Hold on.
No, do your thing.
I'm gonna do the podcast.
Thank you for the comment, Kevin. I appreciate it. Thank you, Blaze. I hope you are getting your tickets. I'm looking forward to seeing you. We may have my brother come down to the show. I know you guys like to hear about all of his fun stories. He has guns we could shoot off. Just kidding. They all fell into a lake. I had a new thought I've been working on recently. It doesn't blow, yo. The POS show. That I edited with After Effects, homie. Usually I use Premiere, but that one it's a short thing, so it doesn't take a ton of power to do in After Effects. Clownface, where are you coming from? Talk to me. We'll see if we can work something out for you. Have you guys ever been so depressed, though, that it cancels out your anxiety? Like the other day, I was sitting watching a movie by myself, and normally that's when the fear kicks in, where you're like, "Oh shit, I'm about to get murdered." Usually by like that piano wire where they strangle you. And I mean, I've seen enough cop shows. That's how it goes down, whether it be Psych, Monk, pretty much anything on the USA Network. But then I was pretty depressed. I was like, if I die, I don't know for certain the other side's going to be more painful. It may be a little better. And by that logic, I think that's how we get a lot of very depressed like heroes. I think heroes just have bad depression where they're like, I'm not scared of death. It's probably better than this horse shit. And, you know, by that logic, I'm sure there was somebody on October 17th like, God, at this concert, it's fucking terrible. Anything would be better than being stuck here trying to be happy with my friends. And then boom. I hope Pat didn't get murdered. That would help our views. Like, I think if somebody, thank you. I appreciate that, clown face. I saw that.
It
I'm
wouldn't
glad you
help
appreciate it.
if I got murdered. They
Hey,
couldn't
dude.
see me anymore. Why would they watch it if I was murdered?
If we just heard, oh God, stop murdering me in the background,
No,
then
the
like,
first time I got up, I had to pee, and then afterwards, I was like, "Oh yeah, I got pizza coming," and I had to go get a pizza from the door.
oh, now I'm definitely ordering pizza tonight.
Yeah, I took edibles earlier, so they kicked in right in the middle of the show. So that's
I
fine.
went to buy edibles and they didn't kick in because the store
Oh,
was
no.
closed, and that was terrible. And that's when I was so depressed I wasn't anxious anymore. But we already talked about that, Pat.
Yeah,
kind of
so
pizza did you
yeah, I
get?
got what?
What kind of pizza?
Oh, I only got one pizza. I'm gonna be going to bed shortly. I need something while I'm done.
I get
And just
that.
pass out into a coma. I think I did all my stories. Yeah.
Well, I've got one here for you, buddy. And since you're high and having hunger things, this might be the perfect one for you.
Well, I'm having hunger things. I'm not as high as I'd like to be. But wait, I have prostate problems?
Peeing during the
Maybe.
episode, maybe.
Maybe I have prostate solutions.
No, I have the solutions, and I'm gonna give it to some chick right after this.
Yes, Kevin, I won't talk about it because I don't want to spoil it. I watched it. I liked it. I argued with Manny Santiago on Facebook that he's like, this season's not good because it's not like comic book. It's not like cartoons and treat it like a history book. It's a fucking good movie, TV show. Who gives a shit? It's crazy shit. I enjoy it.
I one time yelled at Manny Santiago. I was like, "You piece of shit! You got me into One Piece, and then it ends with the brother dying." He was like, "Dude, you know there's like 9 more things you're supposed to watch, right?" And then I had to watch in Japanese.
Well, but there's a One Piece. Are you finished? No one's ever finished. It's
No, it's not finished. But
like 1,500 episodes of that fucking thing.
Pat, Burger King employee, son, and his friend are fired over a viral Facebook post.
Were they smoking outside? Oh wait, that's Korean.
Japanese and kicked off the team for it. No, a Mississippi mother claims she, her teenage son, and his friend were fired from their job at a Mississippi Burger King after a social media post she made proudly showing off the boys for taking a summer gig and staying away from the street violence went viral. Manager Shakayla Dixon, Shakayla. Do you think that's Shakayla or Shakalia?
I don't think it's Shakalia. I don't think that's
Shakalia.
I think it's Shakalia.
Manager Shakalia Dixon hired her 15-year-old son, Cordarian Valentine, and his 4 friends at the Clinton, Mississippi fast food joint to help them earn extra money and keep them off the streets until school started this fall. I felt like it was a good thing because we could have been out doing violence or shooting or killing, but we went out and worked, Valentine told the outlet. Dixon, thrilled over hiring the boys, publicly praised the boys joining her team in a Facebook post. The proud mother's post showed Valentine and his friends posing in front of the store and working in the restaurant's kitchen. The post generated over 90,000 likes and captured actor Nick Cannon's attention, commending the teens' hard work and for staying out of trouble. Now, this is the wave, staying out of trouble and getting the bag the right way. This is how it's done, Kings, Cannon captioned the Instagram post. However, Dixon received a phone call from the restaurant's area's manager and district leader soon after the picture went viral. She said, "We don't want to turn something good into something bad, but we have some concerns." The concerns that she had were the fact that Cordarian is my son and how much money they were getting paid. Dixon claimed that her former manager told her, hang on, I just saw a picture of this woman they used. Dixon claimed that her former manager told her that a minor is supposed to get paid differently than adults, which was never brought to her attention before. My things were when it came down to the policy, I feel like the policy wasn't in play in the beginning, she told the outlet. The mother and the 4 teens were then fired from their jobs at Burger King. It's not disclosed how much the teens earn from the gig. Valentine, who said he always strives to be a positive role model for his peers, wanted to be an example of how hard work can pay off and shared that losing the job has been difficult. I feel like it was a fun experience to get you ready for the real world, he told the outlet. Nevertheless, the 15-year-old still believes the overall message of him and his friends taking the summer job will show others in his generation that they don't need to be on the streets getting into trouble. I hope that it portrayed a lot of people to do things good and stop the violence. I hope you learn better grammar. Clinton is located in an area that's right outside of Jackson where violent crime rate happens a bunch. Pat, who is the piece of shit in this story? Is it Burger King for firing the Kings? They were the Kings, right? Like they did do that thing with the guy. Jimmy got a job. Jimmy smells like fry. You know, that one. Like they could have done that. And initially I was going to be like the woman did kind of make it seem like it was about one thing when it was probably about them getting paid too much. But the fact that the kid's still out there like, no, I hope it was a positive experience and like people learned to work the right way makes me feel like it was a little more authentic. But is it Shakalia? Let me share this
Chocolat.
picture.
She is chocolat. They just named her like the Eastern, like Ukrainian word for black person. Like, chocolat. That is chocolat.
Yeah.
Chocolat.
So is it her? Because it does feel like something sketchy was going on. You and 4
that
random
looks like
kids
somebody
are
that
all...
would have been like an extra on Martin. Like it would just come out and go, "You don't even know what waffles taste like." Like what? Like, what are you talking
like
about?
the Martin
waffles.
coffee shop guy, exactly.
Yeah.
So is it her? Like clearly something bad was going on. Like 4 guys making too much money. That's sketchy. And like I get the post went viral and that was great. It brought some good attention. But also like if you're the manager, you should know the rules of all people, right? Like that's. Thank you, Terry. That is called embezzlement. Blaze, I like that you repeated my joke in a more concise way. I'm gonna kiss you on the lips.
He
here.
edited it down pretty well, though.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm gonna kiss him on the lips for that because I'm gonna make that the title of the clip I put out.
Don't do that August 8th through 10th.
Is the piece of shit the kids? Is the piece of shit the kids? Because Pat, if you really want to send a message here, go start robbing, start committing violence, and be like, "This is Burger King's fault. We're the Burger King Kangs. This is our new gang, the BKK." And then start robbing people outside of that Burger King. If they're in the drive-thru line, you know they got money and they can't go anywhere. There's a car in front of them and a car behind them. All you need is a ski mask and a gun. Lots of money. No face, no case. Who's your piece of shit, Pat?
That woman is gross.
I mean, she was the manager at a Burger King, dude.
I know. I like the chain. I didn't think you got some chain money from the Burger King. You're getting chain money.
That's her Magna Carta.
It's not Burger King, nor is it the kids. It can't be either one of those. The kids are doing what stupid kids do, whatever, doing shit like that. Burger King, listen, they're a monster company. We laugh at them as a fast food thing, but it's a gigantic fucking business. And they've got to cut ties with anybody that could seem off of someone. Because they all have to worry about Burger King, McDonald's. They have to care about everyone. It's got to be crazy that you fucking are shit on for your food, but everyone still uses you all the time. It's crazy. It's kind of, fast food is kind of like porn in the sense where you don't really talk about it, but everyone knows everyone does it, usually late at night. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, that's my shit. I can't say nothing. You know, but I can't tell people that I love Burger King so fucking much. But they are a giant fucking monster company that makes so much money that they have to protect it. The piece of shit in this story is Nick Cannon. You're going to pay attention to someone else's kids but not yours? What the fuck is that?
He thought they were his. He thought they were his.
He didn't even know. He's like, are those mine? I remember Shaquilla. I slept with her one time. That's crazy. That guy's got 1 million kids. Pay attention. He's just checking in on everybody's kids. Is that what Nick Cannon's doing? He's just going through TikTok all the time just saying, you're doing great, playa. Stay up. Like, wait, why are you writing that to everyone? He's like, every black child I see. I write that underneath because who knows?
You never know. it's also Nick Cannon for me for a different reason. You just like the do something to help these kids. Don't just share it on social
He
media.
might have though. He might
hire them for wilding out. Yeah, hire them for wilding out is my point. They were wilding out at Burger
America's
King.
Got Talent. Let them do that video on stage for the Simon Cowell. I was like, what the fuck? He's everyone's dad. Oh, speaking of helping black people, Larry Bay is dying. So if you guys go to his GoFundMe, I don't know the link, but I threw him a couple bucks.
Help
so
Larry
give him some
out.
money. He's a great dude. I met him through like Compound Media. He's crazy. I mean, he's a very arrogant, cocky, thinks he's white and Italian, but black guy. But he's also a wonderful man and a comedian and great things. So let's take care of him if we can. Help him get through this. He's trying to raise some money. So maybe we'll put the link up somewhere on our Instagram. I'll put it up on there or on our Facebook fan page too. But if we can help out Larry, he's a great dude. He would before Bobby was on the show with me, and I would just be on myself back in the day and have guests on. Larry came on a couple times. He's the one, if you guys remember, made you nuts because he wouldn't stop walking around with his phone for a fucking hour, and in the background made everybody want to throw up. But he's a great guy.
Sounds like Larry.
He's a good fellow. So, you got anything left? Or are we done?
No, I think that's about it, my man. We nailed it.
Yeah, we did a little hour and a half on a Friday. Thank you guys for joining us. It was fucking great. Had fun doing this tonight. We'll be back on Monday 3:30. Sorry we didn't get a Thursday thought. There will be one next week. It's just been a lot of. Now that I'm finally driving around, I'm like I can actually go take care of things. I'm like, instead of just sit here alone and cry. But I'll do that in a couple minutes with my pizza. But yeah, come see me August 8th through 10th. I just made some media stuff for them, so that's gonna be put up soon. We'll share it here. One of my clips I put up, if we do get it out there, we'll share it. It'll be very funny if they end up using this clip. I've seen other guys use dirty ones, but this one is pretty fucked up, and it shows who I am as a comic, so I figured it'd be fun to have it on there. But come on out, August 8th, 10th, Comics Roadhouse. Make sure you check that out. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Bobby.
If you can't beat them, if you can't join them, beat them. Why join them when you can beat them? And don't be a piece of shit.